Let's quickly take you to the Eastern Cape, and that is where the inaugural sitting of the Nelson Mandela Bay Council, which is considering postponing the meeting to Monday, this after the acting city manager's legitimacy and ability to preside over the sitting was questioned by the COGTA MEC Xolile Nqatha. And that's where we find our reporter, Sipha Kema, and as soon as she does join, we are going to speak to her. We're just dialing her at the moment. But just to give you a bit of context, the political parties given a chance to address the person that stood at the podium, and this was to decide whether or not this meeting should go ahead. And some political parties saying that the results of the elections came as far back as the 6th of November. The MEC of COGTA, Xolile Nqatha, being accused of furnishing a letter as late as yesterday, we understand, in order to postpone this council meeting. Now, some political parties expressing their reservations about the long time that the MEC took. If he had reservations about the meeting, perhaps he should have raised these issues much earlier, as opposed to presenting the letter just possibly a day or two before the council sitting. So as things stand, political parties not exactly agreed with the postponement of that meeting. You also would have heard the conversation I had with the ANC provincial secretary in the Eastern Cape, Newzroom, who said that, well, this matter has to do with whether or not the acting city manager in the Nelson Mandela Bay municipality has the authority and the capabilities, I suppose, to run that meeting. But as things stand, the ANC itself saying that, well, there are going to have to be negotiations that take place in order for someone to run the city of Nelson Mandela Bay. As things stand, that municipality, alongside two other municipalities, that's COGTA and the Dr. Bears Naudé municipalities, they are hung councils as a result of no party being able to win the councils with an outright majority. So Sipha Kema is now able to hear us. Sipha, very good morning to you. I see there are a bunch of people lined up behind you. I assume that those are leaders of political parties. This is your opportunity to talk to them about whether or not this council sitting should have been postponed. I assume it has been postponed.
Well, that is correct, Xoli. It has been postponed for Monday, the 22nd of November. Now, if you remember earlier on, when we spoke to you, we told you about the letter that was sent by the MEC of COGTA, Xolile Nqatha, saying that this council meeting would be unlawful should it continue and sit. And, of course, that means it won't be recognized. He did say, of course, that because the appointment of the acting city manager was unlawful, saying that his contract had actually ended on the 7th of October, and therefore the expansion to his contract was actually unlawful because there was no council resolution to it. But of course, political parties such as the Democratic Alliance are saying, actually disputing that. Now, as you can see now behind me, Xoli, as you mentioned, that I do have a number of gentlemen here, and these are the leaders of some political parties here in the Nelson Mandela Bay. And what you are looking at here is actually the new coalition. I mean, there have been a lot of talks and speculation regarding the partnerships. Who's partnering up with whom? Which coalition, which party is going with which party? So I'm just going to quickly give you a rundown of which political parties are here right now. We have the Northern Alliance here. We have DOP here as well. We also have the Democratic Alliance. We have AIM here with us as well. We've got the UDN here as well. ACDP is here, Freedom Front Plus is also here, and of course AIC who should be here, but he's also joining this coalition. So they say, of course, they've got majority now. It seems as though the ANC is in quite a predicament here because the EFF walked away from the coalition talks, Xolile. But I'm going to talk about today's council meeting that was postponed. I'm going to start by talking to Mr. Mkhuseli Jack, who is the founder and leader for the Abantu Integrity Movement. Mr. Jack, I mean, today we saw, and as expected, of course, true to form, Nelson Mandela Bay Council meeting, the first one, there was a lot of bickering to start off with.
Yes, we are definitely disappointed. We came here really ready to get on with the job, to dig ourselves out of the quagmire that we are in. And it is unfortunate that the words that were used by the acting city manager, that he blocked or stopped this meeting on the grounds of strategic, what he termed as strategic reasons. And he openly said that it had nothing to do with the legalities and lawfulness. That is what is really bothering us and disappointing.
Now, of course, there's some speculation that this is just, time for the ANC to buy game, of course, using the government position, of course, blurring the lines between separation of power and parties here, state and party, that is. What do you say about that?
It is very disappointing because we would have thought that the ANC would champion the speedy service delivery to our people and stability in this metro. This beginning is really disturbing. However, we believe that through the mandate of the residents of Nelson Mandela Metro and the rest of these men that are with me here, we are going to bring the ship into the right direction once more. We're going to be patient, but we hope that a liberation movement should never indulge in these kinds of childish conduct. And that is why we have accepted this, and we will be here first thing on Monday. And we will be sitting here, and our leaders who are ready and urging to serve our people will be here first thing on Monday.
Now, Mr. Jack, of course, over the past few years, we've seen a lot of back and forth, political parties changing, grounds changing, partners regarding the coalitions. I think, let me just pose this to Mr. Banga here from the Democratic Alliance. Mr. Banga, I mean, even with the DA in its past coalitions, we've seen partners jumping ship, coming back. Are you not worried that given the time frame and, of course, the week and the weekend, a lot can happen?
You see, these men and women who were in this council have taken a decision that we must put the best interest of the city to make sure that whatever happens in this city, it will benefit the people of the city. This is what is more important. And I think the consensus in our discussions was that the people are important. And if you have not seen it today, that the only people who want destruction here is always the ANC. That if it doesn't work for them, they can even be able to break everything down. Even the constitution and the law, because there's nothing, as Mr. Jack is saying, legal about what has happened here today. It's just an interference from the government saying, look, we are provincial government, we can stop that meeting as long as it does not suit our interest. And we are going to have conversations with thinker like South Africans who think that this city would work, working together. And this weekend is important, we'll do that. And we'll make sure that we come here and a democratic process must happen.
But do you feel as though on Monday, when you do come back here, you will come back as the group that you are?
It is the work that we are about to do now to make sure that we consolidate to come back as a force. And it's important for the people of the city because it's all about the people. Because if we do not necessarily consolidate that, I'm worried about the future of the city because when they're in control, they break things down. They don't even have a candidate right now as we speak right now. That's one of their problems. And the city must be on standstill because they can't resolve their internal problems. Just imagine the next 5 years with that kind of bickering and fighting of the ANC. There are people of credibility around here that I know when we decided to say, let's do something about it, because we're prepared to go and sit in the opposition. And I felt like we must fight this just for the people. And these South Africans here have said they're going to fight it for the benefit of the people. Therefore, we are there. We're not going to sleep. Nobody's going to sleep. We will give up the fight as much as we can to make sure that the ANC is out of government.
All right. Thank you so much. That's, of course, the DA's Ngababanga giving us insight into, of course, the postponement of this meeting. Now, I mean, Xolile, it seems as though the ANC in this region is finding itself at a back foot right now. Coalition partners, of course, being an issue in talks of, government interfering in political matters, and also wondering what is going to happen. Of course, I posed the question to Mr. Banga, saying that does he think that they will come back as a collective? I mean, we've seen over the past few years, a lot of coalitions coming in and out, different political parties jumping ship at the last minute. So he has actually said that he does trust that they will come back as a collective. Now, the issue here, Xolile, and the worry is that the people of the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro will continue to suffer as they've been suffering over the last 5 years over the instability, the political instability, which then left room for, issues with the administration. But I guess we will be back here on Monday on the 22nd of November and see what that holds for us. If anything, the Nelson Mandela Bay has showed us that to expect the unexpected.
Absolutely spot on. That's Sipha Kema, our reporter, live for us outside the council offices of the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro. Might the situation taking place there be what was experienced here in Gauteng? At Tshwane, for example, the COGTA MEC here was said to be interfering in the work of the running of the Tshwane municipality. I